Last season, we only had two teams in Formula 1 capable to compete for podiums and race wins on a regular basis, and those are Mercedes and Red Bull. However, we cannot really say that we had a title fight between these two teams, as Mercedes continued their turbo hybrid era domination with another almost perfect season and a stunning 7th consecutive title. This year, Red Bull and Mercedes will most probably continue to be the top two teams in Formula 1, but I am not so sure about the final order they'll finish in, as both Red Bull and Max Verstappen look stronger than ever before. Hi guys, here is F1 2U, and in this episode I'm going to explain why I think that the outcome of the 2021 season will probably dictate the future of Max and Red Bull's relationship and show whether Red Bull as a team really has what it needs to beat Mercedes in a title fight. But before that, I would like to ask you to give a like to this episode and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content and you want to receive more. So last year, Red Bull's car was simply not quick enough to defeat Mercedes. Also, the Honda engine was still lacking speed and reliability compared to the Mercedes one, and the RB16 was a very complicated car to drive, which only seemed to work in the hands of Max Verstappen. And this meant that Red Bull only had one driver fighting at the top, which is never good from a strategic point of view. However, Red Bull worked very hard during the winter in order to solve these issues, and now they really look like they've come on top of them. Honda also pushed its development in order to release earlier the 2022 spec engine, and the 2021 new rules concerning the shape of the chassis really seem to have played into Red Bull's hands with their high-rake philosophy. Furthermore, Red Bull have opted to hire Perez, a non-Red Bull Driver Academy graduate, hoping that his experience will help them close the gap in the fight with Mercedes by having two drivers competing at the front, and this way taking the strategic advantage away from their rivals. So, it is clear that Red Bull are currently doing all they can do in order to give Max a chance to win the title. But will their efforts be enough to beat the team that has dominated Formula 1 for longer than any other team and that has looked almost bulletproof during the last 7 seasons? For me, the short answer would be certainly yes, if they can keep up with Mercedes in terms of the development rate of the car for the rest of the season. Let me explain. First of all, I am 100% convinced that Max is more than prepared to win the championship. The way he drives that Red Bull and the way he manages to extract every bit of performance out of it in almost every race is a clear proof of his potential to easily be a multiple times world champion. If we look at the race at Imola, even when Lewis was closing the gap to him, he still managed to keep his head down, stick to the dry line, and this ultimately won him the race, as Lewis made a mistake trying to gain some time by leaving the dry zone while lapping the back markers. For me, it is amazing to see how much Max has matured as a driver in the last 2 years, how consistent he has become, and how good he currently is at taking the most out of his car, no matter the track he's on. So this is why I am sure that Max will have no problem dealing with a championship fight. But what about the rest of the team? Well, in the first 2 races of the season, they have shown that they have a good car, very close to the one of Mercedes in terms of performance. However, I think that they are still a little bit behind in terms of race pace compared to their title rivals, so this might be an area they would want to work on. Otherwise, their intra-season development rate in the previous years has been a very good one. Also, this season, with next year's massive regulation changes, will probably determine the teams to stop the development of these cars before the half of the season. So if Red Bull can improve their car faster than Mercedes in the races to come, this will be the situation for the rest of the year. Another key aspect in this close championship fight will be the reliability, and last year, Red Bull's reliability issues cost Max second place in the overall standings. However, this year, from what we've seen in testing and the first 2 races, I must admit that their car looks a lot more reliable. Now I really hope that they can maintain this clean record for the rest of the year, as you all know how good Mercedes are in terms of reliability, and just a single DNF could decide the fate of the championship. Also, both Red Bull drivers must be very careful at staying out of trouble, because the new budget caps mean that wrecking a car can seriously hamper your development for the rest of the season. However, I think that Red Bull have got one of the strongest driver lineups on the grid right now, with Max and Checo. Last year, one of their main issues was not being able to fight Mercedes with 2 cars, but I truly believe that they had found the right driver for that second seat in Perez. I know he has done some mistakes in the first 2 rounds and he hasn't got up to full speed yet, but I can't ignore the fact that he has shown some serious glimpses of speed and has almost taken pole at the second race at Imola. So I'm pretty much sure that in about 2 or 3 races he will be up there fighting at the front. And having 2 drivers fighting with Mercedes is something Red Bull have been looking for a lot during the last 2 seasons. Not only because they will gather a lot more points for the team, but because then they will be able to attack the silver arrows with 2 cars and overcome their race strategies, becoming the hunter rather than the hunted. Overall, I think that this year Red Bull are stronger than in any other previous season in the hybrid era. There is no doubt that they've worked incredibly hard during the winter to fix their reliability issues and to make their car faster and easier to control. Honda have also done everything to provide them with a quicker engine, and Checo's experience will inevitably prove to be very important in the title fight. So Red Bull are definitely throwing everything they have into the fight this year, but will that convince Max, a once-in-a-generation talent, to stay with them and not leave if he is offered a contract for Mercedes? Well, Max certainly is more than aware of his potential, and I doubt he would remain at Red Bull if he wouldn't feel like they have what he needs to give him the machinery to win championships. Red Bull also know that Max will probably leave if he is not happy with their progress, and that's why they are doing the best they can to offer him a car capable to fight for the title. And from what we've seen so far, I truly believe that Red Bull can win this year's championship. I expect a very tight battle between them and Mercedes, but in the end, I just think that Red Bull have a stronger driver lineup, especially with Perez on a steep learning curve and Bottas having a rough start of the season. However guys, this is just my opinion, but I can't wait to hear what do you think about Max and Red Bull this year. Have Red Bull done enough to convince Max to stay beyond 2021? Will they manage to keep up with Mercedes in terms of development? Will the Verstappen-Perez lineup work? And most importantly, will they manage to snatch the title from Lewis and Mercedes? Please, write me your thoughts in the comments. Here was F1 to you, and I'll see you in the next episode.